you've got a new release. The first full-length album, I do believe, In Transmission, is out next month.
That's correct.
Yeah. I really like what I've heard so far. It's really it's quite unique in its blend of styles, and you've got that metal influence, the hardcore. It reminds you as well of I don't know if you're familiar with a British band called Skunk and Nancy.
Oh, cool.
So,
well, thank you.
Who I'm a big fan of, so that's pretty cool to hear. So.
Yeah, I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a big compliment from me. Obviously, right now, we can't really sort of do interviews whatever without mentioning the pandemic. So I want to know if it's had any effect on this album, the recording, the release, that kind of thing.
No, not this album. We did finish it before the pandemic. We finished it in 2019.
Okay.
We sat on it for a year, and then we started talking with Metal Blade Records and Blacklight Media. So we pushed it back even further just so that we could do the signing and everything. By that time, the pandemic had hit, and so we played our last show actually coming up in 8 days, March 10th of 2020. So we're about to hit that anniversary of no shows. And after that, we social distanced for a while, but then we started getting together, and then we started writing more. So we wrote 3 new songs, and we sent them over to Matt Bacon, who was our manager at the time. And we decided to add those songs to this album. So Mutt, Deadbeat Assailant, and Transfiguration were all written during the pandemic, and I feel like it brings out more of our thrash side. That you can, it's kind of an emotional. That's where we were at the time. That's how we felt, when we figured out the world was shut down, and so that's the only real effect that it's had on this album.
Okay, that's not so bad then, because a lot of bands have been saying about they've had to rush it or this kind of thing. So it's nice to know that you were able to record it in a natural and fluid environment.
Yes,
and like you say, you're speaking with Metal Blade, and the album I think is officially released with Blacklight Media.
Yes.
How does it feel working with a label like Metal Blade for your first full length?
It's pretty surreal, man. It's very cool. It's great that they're an awesome team to work with, and it's just been a complete pleasure so far. We talked to them in January of 2020, and then we thought the signing was going well and everything, and then they got back to us in March and said we have to put a hold on everything, and we were like, oh no, we just lost this label because of the pandemic. But we told them, we were like, hey, we'll wait it out and we'll be ready when you are. We'll stay loyal to this deal. And they hit us back in July of 2020, and we made it happen. So we're very grateful for everything they've done for us.
Absolutely. And so far you've done two videos, Torture Ship and Locust Preacher, which I keep calling Locust Eater, even though I know it's not.
Yeah, it kind of ties into the background of that song, so it works.
That's not so bad. At least nice to know I'm not a complete idiot.
Yeah.
But again, both songs are very ferocious. They're very full on. There's not really any space for the listener to breathe, which is great for a band like Capra. How long ago had you recorded these videos? Were these pre-pandemic as well?
The video for Torture Ship was pre-pandemic. It was done, I want to say, February of 2020.
Okay.
We just shot that in a little local warehouse, and we wanted it to be strictly performance driven. We wanted to kind of show where we're at.
Yeah.
When you're seeing us live. So it was really good for that to come out whenever there were no shows and nobody could see us live.
Yeah.
And then Locust Preacher, we actually filmed January of this year and had it wrapped up by February. So it released February 3rd. We did it super quick.
Where was that recorded?
That was also in our hometown of Lafayette, Louisiana. We
Cool.
actually used our drummer's house for the narrative side,
Yeah.
and then went out to this old abandoned like mill area to do the performance side of the video.
Cool.
That's where you see all the graffiti, and it just screams outside show, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we're all missing right now. So
We're all missing it.
and something else very striking, of course, is the artwork. It's very it represents the band well, I think, in that it could be interpreted as both a metal or hardcore album cover. Who did the artwork for this one?
It was a good friend of mine, Ben Fruit. He's based out of Wisconsin. I actually met him in a Facebook group for Every Time I Die fans.
All right.
And he posted his art one day, and we got to talking. We've become really good friends since then. And I think this was his first try at our album artwork. I was like, hey, here's our album. I want you to listen to it, and I want you to come up with something that you feel defines what this music is trying to say. And that's what he gave me, first try. And it was like, this is it. This is the album art I was looking for.
Yeah, it's spot on. Yeah.
It's very Jacob Bannon style from Converge.
Okay.
So I think that was a direction we also wanted to go.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of his artwork, him, Jordan Buckley. So it just ties in. It ties in so well with what we're trying to say.
Yeah. And again, Converge is one of those bands as well. It reaches out to both metal and hardcore fans and everything in between. So
absolutely
goes well. Lyrically, what kind of subjects are tackled on this album?
I don't want to speak for her, but it's basically her past struggles. You know, that she turns into this monster. And then she will either like write a letter about it, or she'll write just in the way that it affects her. She wants to be the voice of people that are unheard. You know, she wants to speak to women. I know a lot of like women's empowerment is in this. Her struggles with sleep paralysis, as you hear on Locust Preacher. So it's just an array of subjects that we try to touch on. Just struggles within our own selves.
Yeah, it's quite amazing as well how like lyrics that touch on things so personal can also really hit home with other people that like from all over the world.
Yeah, we're all people. We all go through these things. So if someone can relate to it, we love that.
Well, when looking up the band and trying to find out more about it, I found another band from LA called Capra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have you had any legal issues with them or anything?
No, not at all. They haven't been a band since 2011, and I believe it was some Disney guy, right?
I didn't look that far into it. I just went, they're not from LA.
No, it's some Disney guy. He started a band and then he quit the band, and we sound nothing like those guys.
No,
I actually, my neighbors, you know, they always see me carrying out music gear and stuff like that. And I gave them a few stickers and some koozies one day with our logo on it. And then later on, he was like, hey, man, I listened to your band, and I didn't expect that from you. And he was listening to the Disney pop band. Yeah, I was like, don't worry, that's not us. We're a lot more, we're a lot angrier.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, obviously it's difficult to tell right now because everything's so up in the air, especially in our two countries. But have you made any plans yet for the future and promotion for this album?
Well, we did sign with a booking agency, so we're talking to them, and we're hopeful. They're hopeful that we'll be able to get a show or a tour by fall.
Okay.
And the more the news comes out, we just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, over here in Europe, like a lot of the big festivals have postponed by another year.
Yeah. I've been seeing them drop here in America too. So You know, I mean, we're hopeful to play a show this year. We're also understanding if we can't.
Yeah, you just got to make do. You know, it must feel
Right.
pretty surreal then to think,
Writing.
like,
We're going to keep writing and we're going to keep pumping out music regardless. So,
yeah, well, that's good. You see, like an EP in the meantime, like later down the
that's
road.
quite possible. Yeah, we did not have that planned. We planned to do album and then, you know, tour on it and then wait and do another album. But with this going on, it's possible that we'll have something else, an EP
Cool.
or maybe another live stream,
Yeah.
something that we can do.
It must feel pretty surreal to finally release the debut album and you can't really go out and promote it or anything like that. You know.
It's I've been in bands since I was 12 years old, and I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah.
This is the longest I've gone without playing a show, and it's really taking a toll on me for sure.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today, man. I really do appreciate it.
I really
I'm
appreciate
looking
it.
forward to hearing the album in full because, again, what we've heard so far is, well, my ass is sore from being kicked so hard.
Yeah, hell, it's so awesome.
Okay, man. You look after yourself now, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. You be
Bye
safe.
now.